Hi, I'm Granny, and we're going down the rabbit hole of the Hippocratic Oath. The Hippocratic Oath is an oath sworn by physicians that binds them to uphold certain ethical standards. In many countries, it is considered a rite of passage for new medical professionals. The original oath is attributed to Hippocrates, the first physician in ancient Greece, who required doctors from his medical school to swear by the Greek gods of healing. He is considered one of the most outstanding figures in medicine. Hippocrates is considered the father of medicine because of his lasting contributions. He established medicine as a profession, using clinical observation to diagnose and categorize diseases. His school of medicine revolutionized ancient Greek medicine. It is a popular misconception that the phrase "first do no harm" is part of the Hippocratic Oath. Though that particular term is not found in today's version, early versions of the Hippocratic Oath did contain a commitment to, quote, utterly reject harm and mischief. And I think of mischief like on Halloween, but I don't think it was that kind of mischief, end quote. Specific wording of the oath has changed over time. Its basis has remained the same, a steadfast commitment to help the wounded and the sick. A modern variant of the oath was written in 1964 by American physician and professor Louis Cesar Lasagna. Lasagna was internationally recognized as an expert in clinical pharmacology. He was born in New York City in 1923 and died in 2003. He joined the faculty of Johns Hopkins University in 1954, where he established the first ever clinical pharmacology department. His oath, which is very long, and I'm not going to take time now to read it, but it's worth reading, stresses that physicians should respect patient privacy, avoid overtreatment, and opt for prevention over cure whenever possible. Some have argued that oaths to uphold ethical standards are a good idea for other disciplines besides medicine, and I have to agree to that. When Sir Joseph Rotblat accepted the Nobel Prize for Science in 1995, he advocated the idea that scientists should take a similar vow. Sir Joseph Rotblat was Polish and a British physicist. He was born November 1908 in Poland and died in England August 2005 at 96 years of age. He studied in Poland, wanting to become a physicist. He was interviewed by Ludwig Wertenstein, the Dean of Science faculty. Wertenstein had studied in Paris under Marie Curie and at the Cavendish Laboratory in the University of Cambridge under Ernest Rutherford, where he offered Rotblat a place. In 1937, he met and married Tola Grin while she was a student of literature. In 1939, through Wertenstein's connections, Rotblat was invited to study in Paris and at the University of Liverpool under James Chadwick, winner of the 1932 Nobel Prize for discovering the neutron. Wow. Chadwick was building a particle accelerator, does that sound familiar? Called a cyclotron to study fundamental nuclear reactions, and Rotblat wanted to build a similar machine in Warsaw, so he decided to join Chadwick in Liverpool. He traveled to England alone because he could not afford to bring his wife. Before long, Chadwick gave Rotblat a fellowship called the Oliver Lodge Fellowship, which doubled his income. In the summer of 1939, he returned home, planning to bring Tola back with him. When the time came to leave Warsaw in late August of 1939, however, she was still ill following an operation for appendicitis and remained home. She was expected to follow within days, but World War II broke out. Tola was trapped. Many different efforts were used to try and get her out. She traveled to Denmark, but that didn't work out. She then traveled to Italy, but it was closed off too by the war. He never saw her again, and she was murdered at the Belzec extermination camp in 1942. This affected him deeply for the rest of his life, and he never remarried. During World War II, he worked on the tube alloys and the Manhattan Project, but left Los Alamos laboratories on grounds of conscience after it became clear to him that in 1944, Germany had ceased development of the atomic bomb. Is it no wonder that Sir Joseph Rotblat accepted the Nobel Prize for Science? At that time, he advocated the idea that scientists should vow, like the Hippocratic Oath, to avoid research that would lead to harm of people, animals, and the environment. I like the idea of each of us having our own version of the Hippocratic Oath to guide us in our life choices and in how we should behave and conduct ourselves. Thanks for spending this time with me. Please join me again when Granny goes down the rabbit hole. Please subscribe and share. Thank you.